Welcome back, folks. I hope you enjoyed the spicy new intro. There's a couple of little, lore Easter eggs hidden here and there in the intro, for those that care, but that's besides the point. Today's predator is a VR chat regular known as Rockstar, on YouTube as well, with a pretty considerable and decently sized community of 45,000. And you know what? I just want to go ahead and say that I love Sonic just as much as the next guy. Although I never really played any of the games growing up. I always focused on Lego Star Wars and Pokemon and Zelda. But I've always appreciated the Blue Hedgehog. Just not in the way that, Rockstar does. After this video, you may actually have a slight distaste for Sonic. And no, I don't mean the restaurant. You see, I had received a ticket from an individual in my Discord server regarding Rockstar's behavior, and there were over 20 different screenshots, I believe, alongside some very concerning messages about possible predatory behavior regarding Rockstar. So let's go ahead and view some of the Rockstar's content and analyze how truly awful this content is and what he does for content.
If you have $3.
Okay. I don't even want to watch the I don't want to watch the rest of this video. This is a full-grown man playing with plushies.
$3. And you take away 2.
You know what? I was just thinking about buying the new FNAF game, Into the Pit or whatever it's called. I think you might have just killed it for me, I'm not gonna lie. Also, why is it just that you are an adult man playing with plushies? What does it have to be FNAF specifically in Sonic? I don't get it. Okay? Stop it.
How many dollars do you have?
26.
I never thought a character could be more relatable. Me duele la cabeza porque de esto video. No! What is the mustard-loving looking, Heinz looking, I don't know what is that? Hey brother, how can you sit down and record yourself doing this in VR and think, oh, this is gonna hit the YouTube crowds and everyone's gonna love it? No, they're not! Delete this! I'm sorry, I don't mean to pick on your content. You see, I just don't think I'm your target audience, and also, what is the Sonic lady doing on my screen? She's not your OC. I thought the Heinz Mustard Fox was your OC. So what is she doing here? And why am I here? Yeah, I don't think so, weird-looking Sonic creepypasta man. I'd rather just be a part of my own regular family instead of your family. I don't really know what being a part of your family means, Rockstar, but I want nothing to do with it, if it's anything to do with what I know you do. So, goodbye. Rockstar's first video in 2023 was an OC VR chat video with a FNAF 2 rap song in the background. And look, I'm not gonna hate, but if I did, I'd have a lot of words for this sort of content. I'm not a huge fan of this content, and I'll just leave it at that. Sicko. Now, according to our victim, this Rockstar man has not left them or their friends alone for almost an entire year. In other words, he has done a whole year's worth of stalking. The victim tells us that they and their friends were calling this individual out for his predatory behavior, and they claim that they were doing it as a joke. This was until a comment under one of Rockstar's videos started to genuinely call him out as a pedophile. Rockstar reached out to our victim because of this individual leaving remarks in his YouTube comments. He most likely thought it was the same victim or their friends. Again, if I had to guess, that seems like a pretty genuine guess in my head. He reached out to the victim wanting to clear his name once and for all because he was getting tired of being called a pedophile. But then Rockstar began slut-shaming this victim in a baby fit of rage, and according to her, he was just downright rude, while she was attempting to help him find out who wrote the comment under his YouTube post. Wow, you're so grateful, Rockstar. Some time passed, and Rockstar claimed he wanted to speak properly, like an adult. A little too late, some would say, for that kind of thing, Rockstar. Slut-shaming someone who's 17 isn't a good look, nor is having to, quote, clear your name from accusations. And it's just not a good look, pal. And again, you aren't my pal. The victim and Rockstar managed to bury the hatchet together temporarily, and the victim went so far as to call them, quote, friends. But after the victim had a quick discussion with their partner about Rockstar, it would become increasingly clear that the victim's partner felt uncomfortable with Rockstar being around the victim. And honestly, I can't say I blame the partner for feeling this way. The man slut-shamed 17 years olds, and has a possible reputation for being a predator. Then, the information from the victim took a sudden dark change in direction. They start by stating that Rockstar had done some things to them in VR chat when they were 17, and, quote, a bunch of other things that was just not okay. That's disgusting, Rockstar. Absolutely disgusting. This person is below the age of consent, and you are a 23-year-old man. The victim tells me again that their partner felt extremely uncomfortable with the victim being friends with you. You attempted to groom them. And as mentioned later, Rockstar states he would date this victim the second she turned 18. Gross. Absolutely disgusting and gross. I wouldn't want you anywhere near my partner, let alone my children. And you know what? Sonic's catchphrase, gotta go fast? Well, you gotta go fast to prison, my brother. The victim tells Rockstar that their partner is not okay with them being friends, and tells him that he should work on his mental health. And yeah, I agree, you absolutely should work on your mental health, Rockstar. Talking down to minors and calling them sluts, I don't know if I can say that word on YouTube, and acting like a complete degen, and playing with plushies as a 23-year-old man, when you have better things to do, like maybe paying bills and just going to work in general. You should definitely work on your mental health if you're acting like a nutcase like this. Anyways. And then the next day, the victim explains that they wanted to delete their messages with Rockstar. After removing him from their friends list, which, makes perfect sense to me. They saw that he had edited one of his previous messages and left a pretty length paragraph statement saying that he was, quote, better than her in every single way. My brother, you make fan parodies of Sonic and FNAF content with plushies as a 23-year-old man. And you have 45,000 subs on YouTube. You could be uploading golden ticket content, but instead you're uploading slop. No offense, my dude. You ain't better than nobody, though. The victim goes on to state that they responded nicely and wanted to leave it off on a good note with Rockstar, but Rockstar continues to put them down, trying to prove that he's superior in every single way. Well, why don't you go prove to us that you know what a brand of soap is? You ever heard of Dove? Like, come on, man. Seriously? You state that you go outside, and honestly, I don't believe that. You also state that you have a job, and before we go any further, you do realize, Rockstar, that you were literally saying these things to a 17-year-old, right? And then the victim goes ahead and explains it themselves. They say that they have a chronic mental illness that prevents them from working properly, and you make fun of them for it. Which is actually scummy behavior, by the way, Rockstar, and it's no wonder you didn't make YouTube's Peepophile Rewind. To attempt to further intimidate this individual, or the victim, you decided to put their name in your Discord username, which is some real Freaky Bob type crap, my guy. What are you doing? Do you have any sort of boundaries? Because clearly you don't when it comes to your obsession with Sonic characters or FNAF characters. Also, ain't nobody scared of you when you built like a 1x1 Lego brick, my guy. The victim then goes on to state that they were talking officially to Rockstar back in November of 2023. According to the victim's testimony, there were dozens of rumors spreading around about Rockstar potentially liking underage individuals. And the victim caught wind of these weird allegations and rumors about Rockstar and decided to tell their friends, rightfully so. They decided to try to catfish him into thinking that the victim liked him, but in truth, the victim did not really like him. He fed into this and very obviously knew the victim's age, which is disgusting, by the way. But what makes it worse is that the victim states, and I quote, he says he liked me when he was with his ex, who was 16 years old at the time. So, Rockstar's ex was 16 years old, and he was 22 at the time. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. 16 and 22 is somewhat justifiable, right? Nah, dude, it's still gross, and especially in this context, in no way is it right. A 16-year-old cannot consent mentally, and the dude was trying to get with multiple women that are younger than he is by a pretty decent amount. So it's just gross in general. Don't try to justify it. I see a lot of people trying to do that in the comments recently, which is so weird. First, before I continue reading this, can I just point out how this person types? Why do you type exactly like Lucifer? Do all weirdos type like this? So it just bugs me so much. Grammar is not that hard. You gotta pick a struggle. Predatory behavior or grammar. Pick a struggle, please. Just not both of them.
I really didn't want to make this post, but my girlfriend and I are officially broken up. Found out she's been lying about her age for almost 3 months. She's apparently been doing this to people for several years, just to know what it's like to date an adult at a young age, which is not only extremely disgusting, but dangerous to her and the other person. If you are of the age, don't lie to your partner, because the principle of the matter is that you are lying to someone about a very serious something that is very serious. I can't read, I'm dyslexic, so this isn't a joke. Also, do not harass this person, but if you ever come across them, block them on everything immediately. I'm still healing from all of this, unfortunately, but I still plan on buying more Sonic merch for more videos because it's genuinely really fun. Thank you, guys.
See, that's just a whole lot of yapping, and then the statement from Rockstar tells us to block the individual if we ever cross them, because they're, quote, dangerous and manipulative. Right, well, you were the one dating a minor who cannot legally consent. Still, regardless, you are responsible, regardless of what you have to say. It was your choice to date them, your choice to make this statement, and your choice to be their partner. And if you already knew the other victim's age when you said you wanted to be with them, why would we believe you if you said now that you didn't know your ex's age either? Seems like you're trying to cover your tracks, then double down by telling us to block them and hide things. Well, to you, I say, nuh-uh, my dude. Not happening. He also ends it off with the most nonchalant, I'm going to buy Sonic merch for my videos because it's really fun. Ooh. We do not care, my brother. Enjoy those Sonic socks, my mans, because we already know you enjoy them in other ways too. A little freaky man. Up next, we have a couple of very unsolicited, awful texts sent to the victim from Rockstar. It starts off with a simple, I love you. Oh, yes, well, okay, that's not too bad, right? And then it goes into a, they know I love a woman that acts like her mother. What does that even actually mean? A woman that acts like her mother? Are you talking about the word maternal? What are you talking about? Are you okay? But it does in fact get much worse. Cuddles you to stay Gross! Delete the screenshot! Avada Kedavra! Supposedly you also like to make new accounts to avoid drama or simply to get away. An innocent man wouldn't have to make new accounts or try to get away from anything. Just saying, so stop making new accounts and take some accountability for your actions, my guy. If you aren't guilty, you have nothing to hide or run from. The victim then tells us that their friend had borrowed the victim's account and messaged Dallas, or rather Rockstar, on her account. It told the victim's friend decided to message Rockstar on that account and tell him that she was cheating on him. He reacted poorly to this and decided to go after another one of the victim's friends, thinking it was possibly him who was responsible for the victim cheating. Rockstar attempted to get all the victim's friends to separate from her and claimed that the victim did things in VR with other people. Eventually, Rockstar decided to speak with the victim again, and they, quote, got together. Then the victim said that they were in a poly relationship as a joke, and everything was fine until Rockstar wanted to ERP with them constantly, even in front of her friends, who are all also minors. Gross. Seriously, gross. And again, no means no. In this next screenshot, you can see Rockstar is getting upset about all the teasing that has been done to him by the victim. The victim states that they were uncomfortable with making any sort of romantic decisions with Rockstar, but of course, Rockstar kept pushing. He kept requesting off of the victim every single time they opened an instance, and the victim's friends had to keep there and keep the individual calm, keep the victim calm. And as the victim states in the ticket that they had left for me, I didn't want to do stuff with him. I didn't want to be left alone with him. Seriously, dude, just learn to take a hint. Walk away, Rockstar. Stop being disgusting and leave the minors alone. After this, the victim goes on to state that you didn't care to listen to their story of sexual abuse, and instead chose to call them up and yell at them. You said you would block them and meet with other people if they couldn't fulfill your needs, sexual or not, which is really gross and manipulative. Really, Rockstar, dude? You do realize that you're supposed to be understanding for your partners, right? Also, it amazes me that you're able to act like this as an adult man. Rockstar began visiting these instances later that the victim hung out and attempted to spread rumors, lies, and slander about them to get them banned from groups. And I just gotta say, it's incredibly sad for an adult to act like this, Rockstar, at all. I'm really disappointed beyond measure. Up next, Rockstar begins suddenly acting like he has a dissociative identity disorder, with his alter called Dark Sonic. And sorry, I had to cringe just reading this message. I don't think my sandwich is sitting too well with me here today, I'm not gonna lie. I've been feeling a little sick. Now, I know personality-related issues are very topical and very difficult to talk about these days, but Rockstar's sudden Dark Sonic persona quote appeared out of the blue, and never once did Rockstar mention any sort of dissociative identity disorder or anything related to personalities at all. The victim claims that the disorder was made up just so that Rockstar could talk crap freely to and about the victim. And honestly, I believe it sounds true to me, to be honest with you. It sounds like something the guy would do. Rockstar sounds like the kind of guy to go to a Subway and ask for a McChicken. No offense, Rockstar. The victim and Rockstar had broken up, and they parted ways, or so we had thought, until 4 months ago Rockstar shows back up asking around for the victim, stating that they're, quote, spreading rumors about Rockstar being a pedophile, when the victim had completely stopped acknowledging Rockstar's existence in general. In other words, Rockstar was just being a paranoid weirdo, accusing someone innocent of defamation. In this case, the victim of defamation. In the screenshot sent to this individual, you can see that Rockstar still uses this very interesting roleplay identity, Dark Sonic persona crap to talk about people that he doesn't like. And I can't say I understand this behavior, but okay. I'm just going to leave it at Rockstar, buddy. Perhaps seek some therapy or any sort of psychological help. If you really do have some sort of disorder, there are specialists for that kind of thing, so there's no need to treat people like crap, okay? He continues using this Dark Sonic persona after confronting the victim and continues to talk down to her, claims that she's spreading lies. Yes, the victim and the ex made a decision to come together to talk crap about you. And to be honest with you, I can't say I blame them, since you're the one that made the decision to solicit minors, and you were technically the first one to admit to liking the victim while still being with your ex. So regarding the cheating, it was technically you that initiated the whole ordeal. It was you who was responsible for everything, Rockstar. You then call the 17-year-old a hoe, that she shows her pasta to everyone on the internet, and threaten them to not ever mess with you again. And then finally, you slut-shame them one final time. You hit them with the, "Are we queer, young lady?" monologue lines, as if you're some sort of parental figure. Speaking of which, where are yours? There's no way you're treating someone like this that's under the age as a content creator. You're very clearly not careful with what you say, do, or act, or how you treat other people. And that is disgusting and an unforgivable trait separate from being a predator. Again, you decide to slut-shame this individual because you aren't the brightest bulb in the box. And then in this next screenshot, you tell the victim to take accountability for their actions, when it's in fact you who hasn't taken accountability for anything. And to be honest with you, I bet you won't. You'll still consider yourself a victim forever, because after all, that's what predators do. In the end, the victim apologized about everything and explained that they never really had any sort of interest in you, Rockstar. And all you did was trash talk and treat them like garbage the entire time. You didn't apologize or anything, and you're the adult here. They acted more like an adult than you, and they're a minor. Rockstar also continues to talk trash and flexes his, quote, success onto the victim. Then again, Rockstar claims that everyone is scared of him. Let me reassure you, Rockstar, no one is afraid of you, and I'll gladly await your Discord friend request and hear you out on your bullcrap behavior with these minors, because regardless, everything here has been unacceptable. Then, after ending this conversation, again for one final time, Rockstar went back through and attempted to delete all of his messages that would incriminate him further or damage his reputation any further. And to be honest with you, Rockstar, it's too late. The way you treat others, the way you talk to minors unacceptably who cannot consent, the way you act in general, it's disgusting and it's not welcome anywheres in any community. To end it all off, folks, I've got this really cringe video Rockstar sent to the victim after pressuring them to call them a good boy, which is really nasty. Please keep your weird ideas to yourself, Rockstar.
Light work, no reaction.
Light work, no reaction.
Ooh. Okay, it's got a little kick. Oh.
And honestly, folks, that's all. And I hope you enjoy. And I'll see you all in the next one. I'm gonna go take a shower. Rockstar, I hope you'll take a shower one day too.
Sounding like one of your friend shows.